Why, hello there, beautiful people. Welcome back to Crayniaq Gaming, and I'm here to talk about the Florida State UL-Monroe game. And if you want to check out the Florida State-Boise State review, or recap, I guess I want to call it, it's on the Crayniaq Sports and Gaming channel that's going to be discontinued pretty much. The link's going to be in the description, so check that out. And we will keep it rolling into this video. Now, Florida State escaped UL-Monroe. They didn't beat UL-Monroe, in my opinion. They escaped. 45-44 was the final in overtime, where Florida State basically got lucky that UL-Monroe's kicker shanked a kick in overtime. That would have sent it to a second overtime, in which I really don't feel confident that Florida State would have been able to hold off UL-Monroe from scoring, and then I don't even know if they'd score a touchdown after that, but sheesh, where to begin? Well, Florida State blew another lead. They had a 21-0 lead, and it was actually looking pretty good about, 16 minutes into the game, pretty much. Into the second quarter, UL-Monroe didn't score their first touchdown until about 4 minutes to go in the second quarter. And then we ended the half with a Ricky Aguayo field goal, so we went up 24-7 into the half. And then from there, it just really went downhill. We opened up the second half trading a few punts, and then UL-Monroe gets the ball. They move the ball a little bit, but then they end up fumbling it, and we get the ball back. And then 3 plays later, James Blackman gets picked off. It gets returned for a touchdown, so UL-Monroe cuts the lead down to 10. Then what happens? We start moving the ball a little bit as James Blackman converts a third down, and then he converts another one, except Keith Gavin coughs up the football, and it was going to be an illegal shift regardless on us, so we would have had to redo the down, but they get the ball back. They end up driving from our 46 all the way to the end zone for a touchdown to make it 24-21, but then we go on a really good drive, and that's like the type of drive that I wish Florida State would have more often. We start moving the football, and then into the fourth quarter, we're in the red zone, and we convert a 3rd and 4 on a 14-yard run from Cam Akers, and then James Blackman able to throw a touchdown pass to make it 31-21. But then we allow UL-Monroe to drive down the field yet again. We get called for a personal foul on a kickoff, so they start from their own 40. They drive down the field, score another touchdown to make it a 3-point game. And then, very next drive, on a 3rd and 12, James Blackman, I don't even know what the hell he was thinking here, just tries to throw a short pass, gets picked off near the line of scrimmage by their linebacker. And then what happens? They got the ball at our 33, and then they eventually get a touchdown 4 plays later to take their first lead of the game. Like, why is UL-Monroe, of all teams, beating Florida State now? Luckily, the very next drive, Cam Akers is such a beast. He takes a screen pass in which Blackman was under pressure and took it 44 yards for a touchdown to give us the lead. But then UL-Monroe goes on a 13-play, 88-yard drive, and they kick a field goal to make it 38-38. Now, I was really scared that UL-Monroe was going to score on this drive, but they didn't end up doing it. Then we really do nothing on our very next drive. We end up punting it to UL-Monroe. Then our defense actually makes a stop, and then they punt it back to us. We run it 2 times, take it to OT. So we score on a 6-play, 25-yard drive. They take only 3 plays to score on us, and then they miss the extra point, which gives us a very undeserved win, honestly. I mean, I think we would have been better off if UL-Monroe would have just won this game, because at least then we're one step closer to getting rid of Willie Taggart. And honestly, Willie Taggart just ain't the answer at this point. I think we were able to tell that last year, but now it's even more abundantly clear. And I'm not taking anything away from UL-Monroe. They did come to play today. But a team like UL-Monroe does not have the talent of a team like Florida State, straight up. But as the saying goes, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard, and Florida State's defense definitely did not work hard in this game. They looked absolutely horrible in this game, straight up, and that's just keeping it all the way real. I mean, honestly, I think this is even worse than the Boise State game. Maybe not statistically, but it was still a pretty bad performance overall. I'm looking at the team stats right now. Man, they only had over 400 yards, so we definitely outgained them, but they still had 26 first downs. And honestly, that's just unacceptable. We only forced 1 turnover this entire game as well, where we turned the ball over 3 times. But forget the stats, man. The eye test just tells me this Florida State team is not destined for anything good this year, to say the very least. I mean, they just played with no type of heart in this game. Which is why I'm really surprised that we didn't just straight up lose this game. I really thought that last drive where they kicked the field goal that they were going to score and beat us in regulation. But we lucked out. They got an extra point, and then they shanked the PAT, and we escaped with a victory. Like, I'm even less convinced at this point that we have a shot at, like, doing anything this year than I was last week against Boise State when we lost. Like, if you watched the video that I dropped last week, I was really distraught about the game. I was just like, here we go again, pretty much. Now it's even worse. Now it's 10 times worse. Because we struggled with a UL-Monroe team. I mean, they won 6 games last year. It's not like they're complete scrubs, but they're still a Sun Belt team. They shouldn't be competing with a team like Florida State. Like, under no circumstances. I get any given Saturday, blase, blase, blah. But for Florida State for the past year now, including last season, it just feels like it's every given Saturday. It's getting ridiculous at this point, and there's only really one person you can really point the finger at, and that's Willie Taggart. He does not get this team ready to play on either side of the ball for the most part. I mean, yeah, the offense looked better than it did last week, but again, we're playing a worse opponent, and we're turning the ball over at times where we have no business turning the football over. Like, that whole second half, we had 3 turns. We didn't turn the ball over once in the first half. Second half, we turned it over 3 times. And that allows UL-Monroe to get back into the game. Like, what is going on, man? Like, Willie Taggart really is not getting this team ready to play on a week-to-week basis, and it's just getting frustrating to watch at this point. Like, James Blackman, I still don't think he's that good. Like, he's not as good as Jameis was for us, or even as good as, like, E.J. Manuel and Christian Ponder were. But he's not a bad quarterback. I mean, he made a really dumb throw on that pick, on the second pick of the game, that is. I mean, the first one was pretty bad as well, but honestly, man, this is just getting ridiculous at this point. UL-Monroe is a team that we should beat going away, like, no questions asked whatsoever. This is a team that we should absolutely handle anytime we play them. But instead, we got to depend on them missing an extra point in overtime for us to beat them, and it's just ridiculous. Like, I know I keep saying that's ridiculous because it is, man. Like, you know, we are how many years removed from a national championship? Like 5 years removed? 4 years removed from making it to the playoff, the first ever playoff at that. And it's just like, now this team is just an absolute shambles. I mean, would we be any better if Jimbo Fisher was the coach? We'd probably be better because Willie Taggart is not a good coach. He does not have a good track record of being a good coach. He was bad in Oregon. Did we really think he was going to be any better over here? Like, straight up, man. Like, we have so many weapons on this offense. I mean, James Blackman can be a serviceable quarterback. Cam Akers is a damn good running back. Like, he could be a Heisman candidate at this point if it were not for the ineptitude of Willie Taggart. Tamorrion Terry is a beast, honestly. I really like Tamorrion Terry. But it's just like, we have all these good receivers and we just waste them. We've just been wasting them away for the past 2 years. Like, all these good offensive players, not just receivers, offensive players in general. And it's just, I don't even know. Like, it's just frustrating at this point. I really just feel like it would have been better off for us to just lose this game straight up, because now it's just like, you know, some Florida State fans are going to have this false sense of hope that maybe we might be able to get this season turned around. But realistically, it's just not going to happen. I fully expect us to lose to Virginia next week, and I really hope they prove me wrong, but I just don't think they will. I really just don't think they'll prove us wrong at this point. I think the damage has really already been done, and the only way that it can be salvaged is to get rid of Willie Taggart, straight up. Even if you have to wait until after the season to do it, then do that. But it's like, it's just rough watching this team play football at this point. Like, honestly, it really just is. But that's it for my rant. I really don't have much else to say about this Florida State football team. Let me know in the comment section if you think I'm overreacting at this point. I really don't think I am. But let me know in the comment section what you think Florida State's going to do moving forward? Do you think they're going to beat Virginia? Because I sure as hell don't. Do you think they'll at least have a higher than an above 500 record? I don't think they will at this point. And I could be wrong, but only time will tell. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. A big shout out to all my patrons. We got Franchise Gaming, V-Dub Productions, Colin Mentor, Zach Brader, and Joshua Fernald. If you guys are enjoying my content, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit the sub button if you're new. Also, click on the notification bell to join the notification gang. And if you guys like what I do and you want to support the channel in a more personal way, consider becoming a patron. The link's going to be in the description as always. Like I always say, patronage and donations are never required for me to do what I do, but they're always very much appreciated, and they definitely help the channel moving forward. And even $1 a month definitely helps me out exponentially. But that's going to do it for me, guys. You have yourselves a wonderful rest of your day and night whenever you're watching this. And like I always say, guys, no matter what happens, make sure you guys keep that mofo rolling. And I'm out of here. Deuces.
God, they tryna turn me to a monster. Every year I'm a conquer. Okay, see, I bring the thunder. Walking in humble, Ali Muhammad. Sting you like Bumble. Running with pride. 10 over, eyes to a bliss. I don't fumble blind.